Hello, my name is Fatin Nurani Shafika binti Abdullah, metric number A157207. I'm going to answer the question from tutorial question from week 9, question number 1.
So the question number 1 for week 9 is Aji, pemilik perniagaan perkakasan Sukan Aji Enterprise, menandatangani satu perjanjian membekalkan perkakasan kepada MSG Sendirian Berhad, iaitu sebuah syarikat perunding dan pengurusan program kesukanan. Salah satu klausa dalam perjanjian tersebut menyatakan bahawa untuk tujuan salinan perjanjian yang diperakui sah, perakuan hanya boleh dilakukan oleh pegawai tadbir daripada Majlis Sukan Negara. Dalam perbualan telefon antara Aji dan Nomoto adalah pengarah urusan MSG Sendirian Berhad. Aji telah memaklumkan bahawa beberapa perkakasan berjenama A yang tersenarai di dalam jadual kepada perjanjian tersebut tidak lagi dapat dibekalkan kerana tidak lagi dikeluarkan dan terpaksa digantikan dengan perkakasan berjenama B. Apabila MSG Sendirian Berhad memperolehi projek untuk menguruskan satu program sukan selama 3 minggu di Cyberjaya, perkakasan berjenama B tersebut telah digunakan. Malangnya, jangka hayat perkakasan tersebut tidak seperti yang dijangkakan. Malah ada antaranya yang rosak sebelum berakhirnya program tersebut. Pihak yang berurusan dengan MSG Sendirian Berhad dalam projek tersebut memaklumkan mereka tidak berpuas hati dengan perkhidmatan MSG Sendirian Berhad dan berhasrat untuk mengambil tindakan perundangan. Pihak MSG Sendirian Berhad yang kecewa dengan apa yang telah berlaku turut mengambil keputusan untuk mengambil tindakan perundangan terhadap Aji. Okey, jika konflik mereka berakhir dengan perbicaraan di mahkamah, bincangkan isu-isu berikut. Isu yang pertama adalah apakah rekod panggilan telefon antara Aji dan MSG boleh dikemukakan untuk membuktikan bahawa perjanjian asal telah dipinda. Isu kedua adalah jika Nomoto tidak lagi berkhidmat sebagai pengarah urusan, adakah setiausaha beliau yang masih berkhidmat di MSG Sendirian Berhad boleh tampil sebagai saksi jika ada dokumen lain yang pernah dihasilkan oleh Nomoto dan ingin dikemukakan. Okey, so isu yang ketiga adalah adakah klausa dalam perjanjian itu terpakai secara mutlak dalam menentukan bentuk salinan dokumen.
Okay, to answer the first issue, first and foremost, in answering the first issue, we ought to identify on the call log as to whether the call logs or the call records can be categorized as primary evidence or secondary evidence. Therefore, Section 62 of the Evidence Act 1950, the Act hereinafter, is to be referred. Section 62 of the Act in the explanation 3 stating that a document produced by a computer is primary evidence. A primary evidence is the original document which is to be presented to the court for inspection. In accordance to Section 3 of the Act, a computer is a device that can record, that can store, processes, retrieves or produces any data. In the current case, Aji and Nomoto use mobile phones, in which they can be categorized as computers as well, as they have all the functions that are stated under Section 3 of the Act. Okay, so Section 3 of the Act interpreted the word document, and the call logs are also included in the illustration as the matter that are recorded, stored, processed, retrieved or produced by a computer is a document. Thus, the call logs fell under the category of primary evidence under the documentary evidence. To illustrate more on the category of primary evidence, we can refer to the case of Yusuf Holmes bin Abdullah against BP. This case is about the appellant, which is Yusuf Holmes. The appellant is the arbitrator for these two companies. So the appellant claimed trial to both charges, and after a full trial, he was convicted for the offence under Section 417 of the Penal Code. The appellant was sentenced as a result to a term of imprisonment of 6 months from the date of the sentence, and he was imposed a fine of 20,000 ringgit Malaysia in default 6 months imprisonment. It was held that in the view of the Session Court's judge, the emails which were also classified as documents under Section 3 of the Evidence Act and had also fulfilled the requirements of the documents produced by a computer in accordance with Section 90A of the Evidence Act, and it also fell under the ambit of Section 114A of the Evidence Act. Furthermore, as for the issue of whether the call logs or the documentary evidence can be admitted as the evidence in court, according to Section 90A of the Act, it was provided that a document is admissible if it was produced by a computer in the course of its ordinary use, in which, in this case, the call logs. There are two methods in satisfying this condition. The first one is, in short, to get the person in charge of the operation of the computer that was used to give oral evidence that the document produced by the computer is in the course of its ordinary use. In the case of Daejeon Island and My Flexitang Industries Sendirian Berhad, it was submitted that P9 was inadmissible. on the ground that the plaintiff had failed to prove that the P9 was produced by a computer in the course of its ordinary use. The second method is usually used when the witness is unable to be brought upon the court to give oral evidence in any way at all. In any case, the person who wants to bring up such evidence must produce a certificate signed by a person who is in charge of the operation of the computer or the conduct of the activities for which that computer was used to prove that the document was produced by the computer in the course of its ordinary use. Once the certificate is produced, there is a presumption that the computer referred to in the certificate was in a good working order and was operating properly in all respects throughout the material part of the period during which the document was produced. The evidential burden of disapproving it would be on the party challenging its credibility. Hence, the call log can be admitted as the documentary evidence to prove that the original agreement has been amended. For the second issue, Section 3 of the Act provides that evidence includes all statements which the court permits or requires to be made before it by witnesses in relation to matters of fact under inquiry, in which such statements are called oral evidence. Firstly, the witness must be a relevant witness in accordance to Section 5 of the Act. Secondly, according to Section 118 of the Act, it was provided on who may testify, in which it states that all persons shall be competent to testify unless the court considers that they are prevented from understanding the questions put to them or from giving rational answers to those questions by tender years, extreme old age, disease, whether of body or mind, or any other cause of the same kind. This can be referred to the case of Tong Soon Tiong and others against FA Securities Sdn Bhd. Thus, as for the current case, the secretary of Nomoto, who is still working at MSG Sdn Bhd at the time when Nomoto is no longer the managing director at MSG Sdn Bhd, can be called to the court as a witness to tender evidence to the court if there are any other documents that Nomoto had created before that he would like to produce in the court as evidence. For the third issue, the last but not least, in accordance to Section 62 of the Act, primary evidence is a document whereby it is executed in several parts, where each part is primary evidence of the document, as explained in Explanation 1. Therefore, primary evidence is the document itself, which is to be produced for the inspection of the court. Secondary evidence, according to Section 63 of the Act, is the certified copy of the primary evidence or copies that are made from or compared with the original. Therefore, it is important to adhere to the clauses to such agreement in deciding the form of the copies of the documents. So, this can be seen in the case of Ahmad Azhar Uthman against Rozana Misbun. Not many knows that this is the case of Awi, the famous singer actually, against his wife. As in the current case, the clause in the agreement was applied wholly, in which to form a certified copy of the document, it must be certified by the administrative staff of the National Sports Council. Therefore, yes, it is applied wholly. Thank you.